Hey guys, this is Eventon. I literally just created this YouTube channel just so I could kind of cover what's happening here in Niarja. Right now, Niarja is completely under attack by the Triglavians. Edencom is fighting decently hard, but I think there's just way more pro Triglavian players that really want this to happen. And I've kind of noticed that the systems that do have a lot of relevance, whether they're like really well-traveled systems or there's like big trading routes, whatever it is, Triglavians tend to win just because I think there's a lot of people that are pro LOL and nullsec and really don't want high sec to stay the same. It's been stagnant for so long. To be honest, I haven't played the game that long. I've been playing it really seriously for the last 6 months. I played a little bit 2 years ago, but I've done a ton of research. I've talked to a lot of people, so I kind of feel like I get the gist of what's happening in E for the most part. But with Niarja being under attack, it pretty much makes the Amar and Jita trade hubs completely cut off. If you're flying anything larger than a blockade runner, it's honestly not safe. And even then, if you are flying those kind of cloaky ships or haulers, it could still be difficult to get around. So what this is going to do essentially is kind of leave Amar on an island. I'm actually here in my Astero cloaked just so I can give you guys some cool shots as to the battles and the combats that are happening. I'm going to be warping around between like minor conduits and Edencom. Currently this character, and I believe all my characters are pro Triglavian, at least for right now, mainly because I noticed the Triglavian systems just tend to camp the gates like really hard compared to Edencom. So I've just sided with the Triglavians just because they seem the most dangerous. Even though Edencom has more systems, they just don't camp the gates as hard. I've noticed, and I believe this area, yeah, it looks like it's been cleared out. There might be a couple ships if I turn this off. Yeah, there's a couple ships, but not too many. But I did have a couple notes here. Sorry if I ramble. This is my first video. It's completely impromptu. I did have a couple mentions about what's going to happen in Niarja and like how it's going to actually affect the game. Like I have some things like hauling, gankers, trading, why are the Triglavians winning, and how to make it. So I already covered a little bit why the Triglavians are winning. I think people just want to shake up the game as much as possible. So anytime there's a somewhat relevant system under attack, all the people that are in low sec or null sec, or even some of the edgy high secers that really are kind of tired of what's happening and they want, you know, things to change up, it's going to happen. At least that's what I've noticed. So, and if I had to safely assume, there's probably not a lot of people that live in low and null sec that are pro Edencom because they're just so used to PvPing and just kind of living life dangerously, and they want high sec to kind of, you know, they're tired of the Care Bears doing their own thing, so they kind of want things to change up. So I really think the only people that are really pro Edencom are mostly high sec people, and even then they're still losing a good portion of the people because even some of the high sec people are getting bored and like they're joining the Triglavians. So really the high sec people are kind of fighting against themselves, and it seems like this conflict isn't even Triglavians versus Edencom. It's like the low and, you know, null secers that really want high sec to change versus the people that want to keep high sec the way it is. At least that's just kind of how I've noticed it too. It seems like those are the only people that tend to show up for the most part. So that's why I think the Triglavians are winning this fight for the most part. And at least for haulers, like I said, if you're flying anything bigger than a blockade runner, it's going to be really difficult getting from Amar to Jita. And I really think these guys, anytime you want to go to any other system, I mean, almost in a strange way, it's going to leave Jita on an island too, because the only way you can get stuff to and out of Jita while avoiding low sec is through Udema. I thought it was Udema, but it's actually Udama. I called it Udema for the longest time until someone corrected me. So at least for hauling, this is eventually going to affect trading too as well, which is my next point. So at least for trading, Amar is going to be like on an island in a way. Like it's so far away from all the other trade hubs that I think honestly the new main trade hubs are going to be Jita to Dodixie, then Dodixie to Heck and Renz. I mean, if I kind of map it out here, sorry, I had to cut that off because I was going on a tangent. I couldn't find what I was looking for, but at least for trading, I really think it's just going to leave Amar on an island. So right now, Amar is going to be by itself. The only way you can get to some of the other systems is you can take a really, really long route from Amar to the other systems. So I really think, in a strange way, I think over a long period of time, Dodixie is going to become the new. I don't think it's ever going to be bigger than Jita, but it's going to. I think there's going to be more, like trading power or trading emphasis on Dodixie just because it's going to be the new centrally located trade hub in the area. And as for gankers, I think actually with Niarja falling to the Triglavians, I think it's actually bad for gankers, because the only reason why Niarja was a good ganking system is because a lot of the defenseless ships or haulers that would go through here, they pretty much had to if they wanted to go to Amar. But now that Amar is kind of just taken off the list, I feel like people are just going to completely avoid this system now. So all these gankers that were here that could just, tackle freighters, they can just gank deep space transports, mostly freighters, especially here in Niarja. I was actually ganked here once in an Orca. I'll have to link maybe in the description my Z kill board what happened in my Orca when I was trying to haul something stupidly. And I got ganked by 49 catalysts. So I'll never do that again. But again, all these people that are ganking in Niarja, the only reason why they could is because people were going through here. But I think now it's going to become low sec. All the haulers are just going to completely avoid this and either take the long route or just put more emphasis on those Jita to Dodixie to Heck, shipping lanes for the most part. So I think a lot of, in order for Jita, anything to come out of Jita, it's going to have to go through Udama. So I think all these gankers that are actually in Niarja right now are just going to pack up and move. What is this? Did you guys see that? That must have been just a really bad clipping issue, but I thought that was like an Omega Triglavian Mothership or something crazy. That was nuts. I think that was just some like weird clipping issue or something like that, but yeah, that's crazy. Sorry, anyway, back on point. So at least for the gankers, I think they're all going to leave Niarja and head to Udama, because that's going to become the only single lane system that anything is going to, if you're sticking to high sec, you have to go through Udama in order to get to and from Jita. So I think, if anything, Udama is just going to become more dangerous than ever, because I think all the gankers are just going to double down in that area, because it's going to be such a big lane for all the freighters, for all the deep space transports, a lot of trading items. So I think with this happening, it's going to really shake up the things when it comes to the economy for gankers and for trading. But I think the real big question is, like, how can you actually make money off this? Like, with Amar being completely separated, at least in my opinion, I've already taken some, I've already made some investments to see, maybe there are certain items that are exclusive to Amar space. Maybe some of the LP stuff you can buy in for, like, even someone else brought up in another video that's like, even like some of the Caldari like shield extenders, things that are exclusive to Jita or like Amar space, that's going to be really difficult to get into Amar now. Like, those things could cost quite a bit of money too, or it's just going to be much more difficult to get your hands on. So I think that's one, is like to try and find like regional skill books, regional items that you can buy with LP, especially if you're doing like faction warfare, whatever it may be. All of these items are probably going to go up in value, because it's going to be that much harder to get them, to transport them from A to B through Niarja. So at least with things going on right now, I mean, it looks like Edencom is slowly losing. This is a very, very relevant system. I knew this was going to happen probably about a month ago, that Niarja was going to be under attack. So I hope this helped you guys figure out kind of like what's going on. I really think by the end of the day, Niarja is going to fall. And once that happens, like once Niarja becomes low sec, even if they don't finish it as like final luminality, I tend to notice that the Edencom fleets, because they're mostly high sec players, they just abandon the area because they don't want to deal with low sec PvP. And I feel like the majority of the Triglavian fleets are usually like low and null sec PvP corp members getting together, and they want to kind of mix up things in high sec for the most part. So I think that's what's happening right now. I would give it honestly before the end of the day, before it falls. And at that point, I think the gankers are going to pack up and head over to Udama. Hauling lanes are going to get mixed up. Trading is going to be really interesting. Things are going to be really, really high priced in Amar. So some region specific items and trading, or sorry, like ship mods, things like that, are going to be really expensive in Amar. And even Amar exclusive items might be expensive in other trade hubs as well. So there are ways you can actually take advantage of this. It's not all doom and gloom. It's going to really shake things up. And if anything, there's going to be ways you can actually take advantage of the market, or even do some looting out here. I mean, you got basically a day left to do what you want to do. So there's always winners and losers in every situation, but what you want to do is try and set yourself up the best way you can to actually benefit from whatever scenario happens, right? So sorry for the long rant. I honestly just want to throw this video together. Like I said, I had no script, no nothing. Sorry this is a bit of a tangent, but I definitely want to make more videos. I've honestly been thinking about making videos for at least like the last 2 to 3 months. I do a lot of hauling. I do a lot of mission running. I do a lot of stuff. I don't do a lot of PvP, but I would love to show you guys some ways about how to do like the warp cloak trick, some fitting secrets, some ways that I feel like you guys would actually enjoy, and it's more for like the everyday player and not for the not the like low sec or null sec court person that has a ton of support and resources and understanding as to what they can do to be successful, because I just run like a solo court, just me and my alt for the most part, and I end up doing pretty good for myself. So hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.